European race. Of course there's Israel scattered amongst them that look no different than them. That's why you just can't judge somebody off of physical appearance. But the majority of, especially the elites of the white race, they make sure even if they have to sleep with their sister, they will not mix their race with any other people. Okay? They keep their bloodline together. That pure Idumean race. Idumean race. Like the Hurrides. You look at George Bush, his family goes straight to the Hurrides. His family line, on his mother and father's side. To show you that they was doing all types of things to keep that inside. Idumean. Idumean from Herod to Antipas. Then you have Julius Caesar. And I hate to say this too, at least on his mother's side we know, Barack Obama. He goes straight to the Hurrides. Him, Dick Cheney, George Bush, all of them, they have family line directly to Herod and Antipas. Okay? So I'm going into this to show you who's conspired against the children of Israel. Now, you have some people out there, like scientists and other people, saying, well, Esau can't be the white man. And the biggest deception that's out there, even though my brother Rudolph R. Windsor did this about 25 years ago, and if he was to write another book, he would be able to set it straight. Rudolph R. Windsor was the scholar who taught in Philadelphia, Temple University, and he started bringing things to the forefront before a lot of our people realized we were Israelites. Rudolph R. Windsor was raised under the Jewish doctrine, under Judaism. He was raised under the he converted to Judaism. He did that around the 60s and 70s, and he joined a synagogue. And through that, he was a highly educated brother. He started traveling all over the world. He realized we were Israel. And he got Jewish people to pay for his first book, which is From Babylon to Timbuktu. He had to publish his own books after that because, you know, there was an awakening with the book. But he did one thing that they were able to co-sign on, and that's the reason they actually helped him publish the book. Instead of him identifying the Caucasians as Esau, he identified them as Japheth. And because he identified them as Japheth, they didn't have no problem fueling his or paying for the publishing, because it's still a level of deception. The original Japhetic people are Asians. Look at the Mongols and look at the people around in Russia near the mountains, and look, they're like dark Asians. The same people that went through the Bering Strait over in Alaska. They are black Asians. Those are the original Europeans. So at that time, he didn't have the research. In the book of Jasher, it tells you that Zipho, Esau's grandson, went into Chittim, which is Greece. He went into Greece. And he started the migration of his other brothers into Europe. This happened during the same time Joseph and the children of Israel was in Egypt. Okay? Around the same time. Alright? Somewhere around 1300 BC. Later on, you had Philip of Macedonia. Around about near a little after the 400s BC. You had Philip, the father of Alexander the Greek, who started fighting against the Asians and had wars against Asians, and moved them further into the countries they're in today. Then you had his son who finished the work. Who was that? Alexander the Greek. If you don't believe that, get the movie Alexander the Greek and look who he was fighting against. It shows you all the areas. Push the Asians further back into where they are today. And guess who finished the job? Under Romulus and Remus, the Romans. They finished conquering all of Europe and putting them all under one vibration and under one government, and empowering the Edomite empire, the eagle, that would one day control the earth. Alright? Now this history, people, a lot of historians, some of them know, but they want to hide this information. Look in the book of Jasher. It tells you exactly what son of Esau went into Europe? Now, you don't know he went into Europe because you don't know the biblical names in the Bible. So you see Zepho going into Chittim, and that's nothing to you because you don't know what Chittim is until you get a modern day map and compare Chittim, and you'll see that Chittim is modern day Greece. Now we understand how Esau went through the Caucasus and went in that area and did what he did. Okay, it all comes together. But Esau was the head conspirator. Why? Because of the struggle between him and his brother Jacob. So he's the head conspirator with taking his brother down, Jacob. Read.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites. Right after him came who? The Ishmaelites, which are the modern day Arabs. Now, not all Arabs. That's another misconception. That's another misconception out there. Excuse me. Get from over there. Excuse me. Get from over there. Okay. That's another misconception. Thank you. That's another misconception. Some people out there think that all Arabs are one race. Some people out there think that all Arabs are one race. That's another misconception. All Arabs are not the same race. Just because you're a Muslim don't mean that you're in the same family living in the Middle East. Okay? So you got the Ishmaelites. They moved a high number. Alexander the Greek did this too. Once he named parts of Egypt Alexandria. Alexandria, Egypt, is named after Alexander the Greek. I'm not going to call him Alexander the Great because there was nothing great about it. Okay? He was a known homosexual. Okay? He did a lot of things that was just irrational, without understanding, and he did anything for power. Okay? Now, he named the area Alexandria. He also allowed a high influx of no, out the chair. Out the chair. Over there. Thank you. Yeah, 12 princes. He allowed a high influence of Ishmaelites into the area. So they conspired together. Now, why out of all the African countries would he want Ishmael in Egypt? Why would Alexander the Greek have his own palace and have his people come into Egypt and set stake in Egypt? That was before the Roman Empire was ever established. Why? They knew one day that the children of Israel would wake up and track their steps back to Egypt, where they became a nation. Egypt is where Israel walked out of and went into the land of Canaan. So if you put Ishmaelites there, Arabs there, and you put Greeks there and white people there, a few thousand years later, you can tell the people that Christ was Middle Eastern, that Christ was white. Because when you look at the Egyptians, and you ignore the Nubians, the original Egyptians that was there, you would think that it was always Middle Eastern. It was a conspiracy against the children of Israel. Read. Ishmael. Who else?
of Moab.
Of Moab. Moab and Ammon are your modern day Jordanians and your modern day Palestinians, and also they're on the other side of Israel. They're the people that borders Israel. That never changed. They live on the borders. They live on the borders of Israel. Okay? And a lot of them are being oppressed